Okay, so this is kind of interesting. What I want to do is be able to use a spline object, probably created in Inkscape, as a starting point for creating heads, and then make the grease pencil um, do as little as possible. Um, and here's what I have discovered. Okay, if I go into, I'm going to append this from another scene. Okay, I have this spline object. Okay, and I'm going to say if I look at its material, we probably want to make the material, sorry, let's select this. Okay, make its material shadeless. Yep, it is already. Okay, good. Okay, so I'm going to go back here, and theoretically I could draw over this spline object, you know, blah, da, 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 da. Okay. So that's kind of useful. If I make this grease pencil drawing a child of the spline object, I get a few benefits here. One is if I use the Animal plugin, I can take this spline object and go ahead and insert a keyframe for the points, and then go to a future keyframe, and I can, say, let's say his, the mouth opens. All right, so we can keyframe that. Let me see if I got that correct. Yeah, so I mean, this is a lousy example, but okay. So let's say we go to that keyframe, and then we make some modifications here to our grease pencil. Okay, so now if we also take these keys and make them hit the, I'm going to mouse over the dope sheet, hit the T key, and change that to constant interpolation. Okay, so now everything's kind of working the way I expect it to work. I will probably cover this in another video, but as you can see, there are holes in the spline where the eyes are, and we could actually put grease pencil layers behind that, so that if the eyes open, it reveals, the eyeballs behind. You can probably put two and two together and figure out how that works. Okay, but there is one problem. The problem is, if I render this, got these orange lines around the spine. If I hit A to select nothing, I only render. Okay. The problem is outlines. Looks like. Hang on a second. I gotta check this. Let's make the alpha mode sky. Yeah, okay, that's what I expected. Okay, so as you can see, the problem is we can't get our nice outlines around the spline. You say, well, that's easy. Let's just do some post-production. So let's go to the post-processing settings and turn on edge. Okay, well, the problem is that only works like this with a standard Blender render. Okay, and I want to do an OpenGL render. It's faster, yada yada yada. Okay, so this is not a perfect solution, but it's pretty good. If you select the object, and let me check one thing. Okay, let's turn off only render. What if we change the Blender theme so that instead of these outlines being orange, they are black? Yeah, let's do that. So let's go into our preferences, themes, 3D view, and take the active object, make it kind of a charcoal color, and also object selected. All right, save our user settings. And now when we do an OpenGL render, Got to make sure it's selected. So you hit the A key to select all. Now we have toon outlines around our spline object as well, without having to do the post-production step of generating outlines, and without having to do a regular F12 Blender render. It doesn't matter how many spline objects we have in the scene, it all just works. So that's a very quick tip for today. But this will render exactly as we expect. If I hit Control F10, I've now been able to marry my my grease pencil to the spline, and this head could be obviously we could create a head template. This one's not perfect, but we could do a lot of tweaking, and we can make a lot of different types of characters from this one basic template. Okay, so all right, that's it for today.